tweet that says, what is she saying? She's talking about how she had an interview with, or listened to an interview, or watched an interview or something with Cam and Poor and Gloria Steinem. Cam and Poor. It says it's what the tweet says. I can't show a picture of it because I don't have a blog. I don't have a written blog anymore. It got censored. It's spelled CAMANPOUR. Cam and Poor, right? Emma Watson is someone who, it seems to me, has always been at least middle class, if not rich, and has been rich her entire life, right? She really doesn't know that much. She really doesn't know about that much about what it's like not to have money. She doesn't understand any of that stuff. And I really think that Hillary Clinton's continuing just attachment to people in Hollywood, and there's something about it. There's something about Hillary Clinton's campaign that is very old school, nasty female nastiness. I don't know another way to say it. You know, it's like it's very bitchy. You're bitchy. You know, I probably shouldn't. I should not say that, right? I just got Donald Trump elected, didn't I? By saying there really is a side of bitchiness to her campaign that I don't appreciate, and it's not even like it's just me. It's that like tit for tat kind of, like, this is gonna piss you off, like, we're gonna say this, and we know these people over here, you don't like them, so we're gonna hang out with them, and blah 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 blah. I really don't like it, right? I mean, my feeling about women and women's rights is that if you're going to fight for the rights, you also have to fight for the responsibilities. You need to do that, right? And I do think there's a side of kind of how things have developed over the past few decades, with women gaining rights, gaining access, gaining opportunities, that kind of thing, where you can't just run around saying, and Hillary Clinton doesn't do this, but you can't just run around saying men are terrible and women are always right and blah blah blah. That stuff was the thing about those types of jokes is that the only time that they're funny, and they're not genuinely funny. It actually speaks to something that's disturbing in the culture in terms of power inequality, is that those things are only kind of funny when you know that it's totally not true. So, for example, when you had mostly, I think more in white life a lot, because women were not really encouraged to work, right? Middle class white life. You had the guy who was bringing home all the money, and when you're the one bringing home all the money, you have all the power. That's really true. So to make little jokes about how the wife is the one who has all the power, when truly it's the guy who has all the power, kind of depending, it could be a little bit funny here and there, but not overall. That type of situation is not very funny. I think my understanding, although my knowledge of history is not total, it's interesting because I think because black people overall were not valued in the United States, black women kind of got used to, a lot of black women got used to you just go out and work because you have to make the money. You have to do that. Hey, we've always been working anyway. Now it's possible for us to get paid something, but nobody can really advance. The black men cannot really advance. So everybody has to go out and work. And if we have to go out and work 2 or 3 jobs, we just will. And I can at service jobs mostly. And I actually still encounter that. I encounter that pretty consistently among black people. Black women, they're the ones that I kind of have interacted with the most. It's not surprising. You'll meet a black woman in human services or some other type of job, and you'll just find out in the course of conversation that she works at least 2 jobs, right? And it's like that now. It was like that 20 years ago. She's not running around. She's not running around like the way that I know, for the most part. Most middle class white people would be saying, "Oh, I'm working this job, I'm working that job." Literally, they don't even discuss it, really, unless you're talking to them, and it just happens to be something they talk about in the course of they're talking about other things. So I mean, it's and so there is. Although I think there's a lot of misogyny, and that's the thing that people don't hear about black culture either. There really is not a lot of understanding of history, I think, like among younger people, even people my age, the idea that somehow there's like this untrue idea that somehow it was blacks and it was women and it was all these people in the 60s and everything got better. It's like, you know what? There was a lot of misogyny in the black civil rights movement. You know, black women are at the bottom, really, for the most part still. You know, after all this time, no, it was not, you know, all blacks and all women and all minorities and everybody all together. No, it's not like that. And you see it in the White House. You see it in the White House. You know, you have this black president. And by the way, Hillary Clinton, stop calling me racist. I am not a racist. It's unbelievable what I have been going through these past 6 years. President Obama is a misogynist. It's not that I am a racist, he is a misogynist, right? So stop doing that. Stop trying to play the race card on me when I've been going through hell every day. Every day. You really are not you're not what you say you are. You know, you're not what you say you are. And you are as much a part of that establishment as anybody else, right? As corrupt, as cruel, as uninterested in the truth, as uninterested in fairness, you know, as willing to play dirty as anybody else. So don't act like somehow you're on the side of all, you know, of all the oppressed people, because you certainly are not. You certainly are not. You know, and as far as like just the general lowness of everything that's happening, yeah, you know, it seems to me, I could be wrong, but I mean, what other president in modern history has set the standards so low, has set the standards for societal behavior, behavior among famous people, behavior among important political people, as low as this president has? It's sad. It's really sad. You know, I mean, it's particularly sad because being the first president who doesn't look white, it really would have been nice if he had more class, but he doesn't have that. Right? It's been a very, very low class presidency, and that's really sad. But it's not racist for me to say that. Look at all the white people who are just as much of a jerk as President Obama is. Just as much of a jerk, you know? Don't call me racist. I'm not racist. You're sexist. You have a lot of problems.